get to know Stephenye. So I do know that you were a military kid.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your childhood. What's it like being a military?
I allow people to love me on their terms. And you can't tell someone how to love you, but I want to be loved on my terms. The wisdom that we need to go further. Because a lot of things that I've been through, I've taken lessons from it. Like I had to fall and figure it out and get back up. Okay, let's go.
This is Leggra.
This is Stephenye.
This is Cherie.
And this is Ivania.
And this is Timeless and Unfiltered, where we are spilling the tea on midlife, one laugh at a time. Hello. Welcome to another episode of Timeless and Unfiltered. I am Leggra.
And I am Stephenye.
And you may notice there is nobody else on the couch but the two of us. We didn't kick them to the curb. We wanted to do an episode where you guys gotta get to know us a little bit better.
Yeah.
So we wanted it to feel a little more intimate. So today we're gonna have a conversation with Stephenye. It's Stephenye. Stephenye, you and I go way back, but we don't go way back, which is funny. It's like we go way back, but we don't go way back. Talk about how we met, or our relationship, or
shit. How did we?
I'm not exactly sure.
So I tell people, I'm like, yeah, I'm hanging out with my Akron crew. Because I have different friend groups here in Atlanta. And I'm like, yeah, I'm hanging out with my Akron crew. And they're like, wait, who?
What's the Akron crew?
And the Akron crew was you, Kyra, and your sister.
Yes.
So I was like, that was my Akron crew. So I met you guys through Kyra.
I guess so. Well, first of all, look, we both... Well, I guess you can't say exactly being from Akron, Ohio.
No,
but
I'm not. Yeah.
We went to the same high school for a period of time.
Yes.
Were you there when I was there?
No.
Okay, I was already gone.
Yeah. But I had heard of you and like Kyra because you guys were like, and you guys were like the girls.
Legends.
Like, yeah, they were cold. They were the cold girls. No. So I had heard of you guys.
Okay.
And I would see you all in passing, like, oh, that's being
so we
an
were
underclassman.
There.
No, like if there was events that you guys went back to games and stuff.
Oh yeah, we would come home every once in a while.
Yeah. So
okay.
Cause no, you guys were in college. Y'all left.
Well, we know we have a connection somewhere, and it comes from Akron, Ohio. We don't know exactly how, but then, years and years later, we're both now in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And we both, I had lost track of Kyra for years because even after high school, she went to school. I went to a different school. And at one point, our schools played each other. So we were able to connect again. But then, of course, life happens. Yeah. And then we didn't see each other again. And I'm not even sure how we connected. I'm not even sure how we connected once we got back down here. But I'm glad we did.
Right. And that's what I tell
people. And then you were friends with Kyra.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kyra and yeah. Yeah.
That's so funny. Like, just full circle. Now,
but I tell people, as big as Atlanta is, it's really not that big.
It's not.
It's smaller pockets of people and smaller circles of people. So we were going to inevitably, I guess, run across each other's paths some kind of way.
At some point. And it's so funny. I remember when I first moved to Atlanta, I think I was downtown somewhere, and somebody said, Hooper. I was like, what? Because he used to call me that in high school sometimes. Right. And I was like, I know, ain't nobody. Okay, they're not talking to me. And they said it again, and I remember turning around, and I can't remember who it was, but it was somebody I knew from high school. And I was like,
I love that.
Oh, and I was downtown. But anyway, somehow we have connected.
Yes, we have.
Again. And, between all of our old school concerts we like to go to.
Our geriatric concerts. Because baby, people getting old.
Oh my goodness. Well, I had the blessing of not too long ago going to a concert with my son. Went to see Cowboy Carter tour with Beyonce. And I remember sitting there thinking, boy, this is really different of how concerts we used to go to. And ours were a lot smaller. They weren't. Well, no.
I went to a Janet concert back, and hers was cold like Beyonce.
Okay, no, I'm sorry. Janet is somebody else.
Okay, because Janet
is different. Janet, Beyonce, that's different.
Okay, yeah.
But I remember concerts felt more intimate, I guess.
They were.
You know,
Yeah.
and you felt almost connected with the artist, so it was a little more intimate and stuff. And I remember sitting in the stadium going, "Wow,
This is so
And then
nice.
even the theatrics and the technology and we all had the little bands on. I loved how she
Really?
controlled the environment. We had these little bands on and they light up. So when she wanted the stadium to be red, all our little things was red.
Oh, that's
and when
dope.
she wanted it white, it was white.
Oh,
when
that's
she wanted
dope.
it blue, they were blue.
Oh,
So when you
that's
came
dope.
in, they put these little gave you this little bands and had the Cowboy Carter band on it, and you didn't do anything. It just lit up when she wanted it
What?
to. It was amazing.
That is so. Oh, God.
I was like, oh,
That's so
come on,
dope.
technology.
Right.
So I was looking at, my son was looking at Beyonce. I was looking at everything.
Man, you
I was like,
look
oh,
at
wow,
this.
this is,
Wow, this is,
this
is different.
Our concerts were,
Very simple.
they just on stage right there.
Yeah.
And we just right there with.
Yeah.
That was our concert. But yeah, so I know what your love of music, and that's what I know about Stephenye.
Yeah.
Is Stephenye loves to dance.
Yes.
Stephenye loves to sing. Stephenye loves music. She's always a big, bright, bubbly ball of energy. Ball of energy when she comes in the room. But we want to get to know Stephenye. So I do know that you were a military kid.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your childhood. What's it like being a military?
We moved around every couple of years. I think maybe every 2 to 3 years. Both of my parents were in the Air Force. So
in the Air Force.
Yeah,
Okay.
we both moved around a lot. But we were primarily based on the West Coast. So when I came to Akron, I migrated from the West Coast to Akron, and I was different.
Well, first of all, West Coast to Akron, Ohio.
Was a lot. And it was literally a culture shock.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had never seen so many black people in my life.
Oh, okay.
When I enrolled in high school, to where I was like, and my grandmother
Well, you
had to
also
take me
went
out of
to
school.
John R. Bookdale High
John
School, which was
R.
a predominantly black high school.
Yes.
You went to the blackest
The
of high schools.
blackest of the blackest. And it was such a culture shock to me that I mentally couldn't deal with it. And so my grandmother had to pull me out of school for a minute, and then she put me back in, and I went and was like, okay, this is, we're gonna see how this is. And I remember it was a lot to me. And when I walked into the cafeteria, I had the tray, and I was like, I'm probably like 60 pounds in the 9th grade. I'm really tiny. And I'm like, and it was 2 girls that were like, come sit with us. And they were upperclassmen.
Okay.
And it was Aaliyah Dawson and Heather Maxwell. And they were like little
I
petite
remember their
girls.
names. I remember them.
And they just took me under their wing, because I was just like, I didn't know what to do. It was just, gosh, and they were just my friends, and just, it was great. But my vernacular I was like,
the
California
girl.
I was like such a valley girl. And I'm like, so you guys want to hang out? I got beat up a lot. That's why I got jumped so much. And it's really fucked up. And I'm going to say it's fucked up because, like I said, I was like 60 pounds. I was very tiny. And it would be the upperclassmen girls. It would be like 5 at a time jumping on me.
That
because
is
for
crazy.
whatever reason, some boy looked at me or liked me. And I didn't
That's how it
understand that
always
either.
happens. That's how it
I'm
always
like,
happens.
I'm new. What is... And from where I came from in Colorado, I was technically...
Okay, wait a minute. How'd you get to Colorado? Wait a minute.
That's the West Coast. I grew up between Arizona, California, Colorado.
Okay, okay.
Just that little... We were just stationed. We moved around. But when I migrated from Colorado to Akron, and then the thing with what you consider a valley girl, it was just my vernacular. I was just more proper. Or I was just proper.
It comes out every once in a while.
It does. And I hear that. People are like, oh, there goes that. And I'm like, oh my God. I know.
It comes out every once in a while.
But I just felt that it was never fair. If a boy like me, that's why I say Akron was like the worst 5 years of my life.
Which is so, I
got
hate
beat
that
up
for you.
so much, like the 9th grade, to where my grandmother had to pull me out of John R. Bookdale and send me over to Central Howard, where it was more diverse. She was
it was very diverse over there.
Because I was like Griffin of the Month in the 9th grade, because I was like, I strive to maintain my academic level. Like, I was just like, all the white administrators at John, they loved me. And I worked in the office. They were like, come hang out in the office, because they seen the kids picking on me a lot. And they were like, she ain't even from here. Y'all messing with this little girl. And they always had me in the office helping them out just to keep me out of the hallways. It was jack people up now.
I loved high school.
It was so, because you guys grew up there. Yeah. And I was just a migrant, and I just got treated like shit. But I went to Central Howard, and I hung with some people that taught me how to fight. So now
you that girl.
What? I was able to go back to Bookto and was like, I wish somebody would mess with me at this point.
So you ended up going back to Bookto again?
Bookto, yeah.
Okay.
I just went 10th grade, Central Howard, learned pew, 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 couple of 1-2s. And then I was always fighting in the streets now, outside of. And then I started dancing, hip hop dancing. Okay. Because when I got back to Bookto, Chastity Wright was like, when I was in the hall, she was like, you look like you could dance. And I was like, I don't know. And then I wound up joining a girls group with her. So now we're opening up pep assemblies, winning the talent shows. We're traveling to like what was it, Sand Run, the African Festival. Yeah. We're dancing. So now people know me as, oh, she's a dancer. And people really stopped kind of messing with me, because now I kind of made a name for myself. I'm the girl that dance, and we're opening for Men at Large and Laverne and X-Clan. Like, we doing like big stuff. Yeah, we was cold. We was cold. Well,
what happened?
I got pregnant.
You little fast ass.
And so the crazy thing about it, I got pregnant. I didn't start my menstrual till 17, which was people consider late.
Oh yeah, that's late. That is late for.
And the first time I had sex, I got pregnant.
Oh wow.
Jesus.
The very
first time I had sex, and it wasn't even worth it, because we struggled so bad.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
It was such a struggle. I was like, how did that happen? Because we struggled so bad. But we had literally just went to Boston and performed at Orchard Park rec center, where New Edition was discovered. And so this scout was there and was like, oh, I want to work with you girls. And he was building a girls group. And it was like 5 of us that went up there to perform, but he only wanted me and Chastity at the time. Oh. And I was like, dog, man. But he had some other girls, and he wanted to combine us into a girls group. That's how that
usually works. Yeah.
Yeah. And then when we were up there at 2:00 in the morning, I'm like, God, I want some Chinese food and some pizza. Didn't dawn on me that I was pregnant. I'm doing the backflips and Sammy grow up and performing, doing all the little stuff, and didn't know that my hind parts was pregnant. And then we got back home, and I told Chastity, I was like, I missed my period. And she's like, well, let's go to Planned Parenthood. And we skipped school that day.
Oh, wow.
She went with me to Planned Parenthood, and I took the pregnancy test, and the lady was like, oh, I think you're in the clear. Just, you start wearing protection. And I was like, okay.
Oh, so you came back negative.
Nothing showed up on the thing.
Was too soon.
I was like, yeah. And so I was like, okay. And so we're leaving out. And then the lady was like, excuse me.
Oh,
she came running down the hall, and she's like, I need to talk to you. So Chastity's like, did you leave something in there? And I was like, I don't know. But
so they told you were negative, that you weren't pregnant, and then called
went
you,
back,
didn't even make it down the hall.
It was a faint line that started showing up. She was like, I said, oh my God. And I remember I went out and Chastity, and I had my coat, and I walked out, sat like the 90 sitcom challenge. God, I love the 90 sitcom challenge, because I was really like on the sitcom. And I walked out with my coat, and I was looking. She said, what? Why you look like that? I said, she said, I'm pregnant. And Chastity, I didn't cry. I didn't do nothing. I was just like, oh my God, I'm pregnant. Chastity cried. She's like, you f***ed up the group. Baby, when I tell you that was all that lady was worried about, because she's like, this is our chance to blow up, and you messed it up. And she ran down the street crying and went and talked to me on the bus. And I was like, so it didn't go anywhere at that point. We didn't blow up. But that didn't stop the talent and my drive to try to do anything. And that's why I wound up in Atlanta. Because I would come down here and notice that I was like, man, there's a bunch of people that look like me, and they're young, and they doing it, and they got cars, and it's just,
she said, and they got cars.
I'm going to a club, ain't nobody fighting. Like, it was just all love. This is in the 90s. So I'm just like,
So that's what made you come down here?
Baby, as soon as I got out of high school. Okay. Well, no, because I started some mess in Akron, and my grandma sent me to California. You got to go. And I was like, so I got sent back to California.
Now, did you have a baby at the time?
Mm-hmm.
So you and the baby got sent back to California.
Deported to California. My grandma's like, I ain't doing this with her. And I got sent to California. And what I realize now in hindsight, my dad, I was 19. So my dad was 39, and he has a teenager now, a grandchild, and this teenager that was off the chain because now she learned how to fight. And she talk mess to dudes and chicks, and she like, yeah. Just
this is you?
Yeah.
I'm assuming. Okay.
This is me. I started a whole bunch of mess, man. And so now in California, it's synonymous for gangs.
Yeah.
Gangs. So he like, how do I
He don't
keep
know what
this
to do
girl?
with you at this point.
And he just kept trying to keep me locked up in the house, bless his heart. And I get it, but I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this. And one day I called a friend down in Atlanta and was like, hey, can I come down there for a minute? And me and the baby, because this was her niece. And she was like, girl, come on. And then one day he went to work. I got it. And I actually, my second baby daddy, he was coming to see me in California, and he had sent me money. He was like, yeah, I'm gonna come check you out or whatever. And he sent me money, and I used that money to buy a ticket and to come to Atlanta. And he done went out to California. He like, where's she at? And my dad like, I don't know. She left. And then he called my grandma. My grandma like, she in Georgia. So
you do know, like, you and I just had a conversation before we came on camera, and I said, Stephenye, you need to put these stories to music or something, because when I tell you, my girl got stories.
I got stories.
You got stories for days.
My life is just so. That's how I came to Atlanta, and then my goal was, I'm gonna be a rapper and an interior designer, because I went to Akron U for a year for architecture and interior design. Okay. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do interior design, and my goal was to get the athletes down here. So I was like, I know these basketball players and football players, they houses don't look like nothing because they're dudes. So I was like, I'm a network with the athletes and like, hey, let me decorate your house. And in the meantime, I'm gonna try to be a rapper and blow up. And that didn't happen. My album is still on the shelf. And
but you did cut an album?
No, not really. I was running around with somebody that said they were putting me on, that was on the label, and he had me running around with him. And I'm like, what's up? What am I gonna get on? What's going on? But I think you just wanted me to run around and be cute with you. And then I did try out. I still was like dancing. I tried out to be a background dancer. I was a fill-in for Blackstreet. Then I tried out to be a Hawks cheerleader, and I felt like I was too dark at the day back in. I think I was too black back in the day in the 90s, because I got through 2 rounds and they'd be like, cut. I'm like,
So but that's more. I was gonna say, so you were a cheerleader too, but that's more dancing. Like
it's dancing, but I was a cheerleader in Colorado. That was little kid stuff, and that's what I was gonna say. My point is, when I migrated from Colorado and on the West Coast, I was still in junior high. Okay. So to come to Akron and be in high school was like, whoa. And all the kids were really
our
big.
Junior high was part of high school. Like ninth grade
for
was
y'all.
now.
Yeah, it was like 9th and 12th. But on the West Coast, 9th grade was still in junior high, and high school was 10th, 11th, and 12th.
Yes.
So I was like, I'm not an upperclassman here. I'm a lower classman, and these people are way bigger than the people I'm used to seeing.
Well, if you were 60 pounds, everybody was bigger than you.
Yeah, I was tiny.
Oh, well, I hate that you had that experience. But part of all of these things and all of these stories is what has grown you to what?
It's built character.
And who you are now. Well, one of the things I love about just even hearing your story is, like, here we are now, 50? Still have the dream, still striving, but not only that, but you're trying to help other people.
Oh, yeah.
With theirs. So tell me about
the artistry.
Yeah, tell us about the artistry. First of all, spell it, because people don't spell it wrong.
It's capital RTISTRY.
Yes,
the artistry.
Yes, okay.
Take the A out of it. And what I tell people is that I moved to Atlanta to pursue my dreams of being a star. And we didn't have the platforms that they have now with social media and things of that sort. I was literally out looking like a fool dancing
everywhere.
everywhere, and like, yeah, I bust a cap on a nigga, and I'm just, and they like, yeah, and I'm like, I just did some stuff, man. And so I was like, it's just so different now. It's so different, and I just like to provide a platform because I love talented people. I just love the art of. I love how God gives everybody their talents and their spirits, and I was like, this is so great, and I love watching it. So. I tell people, come out, do your thing. And I tell people, it takes a lot for people to get up here and to do what they do.
Because you have people come sing, you have
they
comedians.
do spoken word, comedians, vocalists, rappers. That's pretty much it for now. But I'm like, whatever y'all do, come on out, But I just like, and I just be like, I love looking at the people do their thing. I just think it's so dope.
Okay. How do they find the Artistry?
On
how do they know when
I'm under the Artistry, Artistry Inc. It was somebody else named the Artistry. I had to put Inc. But I'm the Artistry. I'm legally incorporated as the Artistry.
Okay.
So yeah, on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. I want to do the YouTube. I feel like I'm so old and out of touch with technology, Jesus. Because even when I post my videos, I have people like, you want me to help you with your video? I'm like, yeah, that'd be great. Because y'all trying to tell me my stuff look like shit.
trying to tell you my stuff look bad.
I'm just trying to put the people out there. I'm trying to put them out there. But yeah, the Artistry. Come check us out. Once monthly. Follow us.
Okay. So I know your life is such a journey. What would you want to change about your journey to where you are now? Or would you change anything about your journey to where you are now?
I feel like I wouldn't change because I think in one of our conversations on one of the episodes, it helps us gain the wisdom that we need to go further, because a lot of things that I've been through, I've taken lessons from it. Like I had to fall and figure it out and get back up and okay, let's go. And so I've learned a lot. And even till today, I'm still learning.
Yes.
Learning never ceases. And what I realize is that no one is perfect. We're all going to go through some mess. It's just how you handle it. Jesus. Yeah, it's how you handle it. Sometimes I want to crash out like, Lord Jesus. But it's a part of life, and I take it and keep it going, keep it moving.
Well, let's talk about a little more personal, Stephenye. Stephenye loves love.
I do.
Stephenye love, and
I want to be in love.
I know you do so bad. That sometimes, do you think sometimes you wanting to be in love so bad have tainted your choices?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Your selection of people in your life?
Yeah, and I think that's a lesson. A lesson that I'm learning. I think I allow people to love me on their terms. And you can't tell someone how to love you, but I want to be loved on my terms. So what I realize is that instead of just settling for people loving me on their terms, I need to love Stephenye enough to put her foot down and say, listen, this is what I want, to find someone that's in alignment with me and not try to love people into my alignment because I keep getting kicked in the face trying to do that. I do. And so, God, Jesus, yeah, I just got to find somebody that's in alignment with how I want to be loved. And I swear, I feel like it's simple.
And we all say that. It sounds so simple, but finding that person, and let's keep it in mind too, we're in a very small pool. That pool got piss and shit in it.
Piss and shit.
Right, we're in a very small pool. It's not the same as when we were younger. So finding that person.
And that's sad. Because you would think people have evolved, but a lot of people aren't putting in the work to evolve. Jeez. Because I'm evolving.
What you saying? But why you say it like that? Because I'm
evolving. Because I know I got my shit about me. I'm OCD, but not like super crazy. I just want you to wash your hands when you come out the bathroom. I
think that's just standard.
Like, no,
that's
it's not.
It's supposed to be, but I wouldn't say that's making you OCD. You would think that people do, but
it's not. That freaking common, men and women. Shit, it's not. And I'm like, and so I'm just like this, like germaphobe. So, yeah. So that might get on somebody's nerves. I'm like, so you're not gonna wash your hands?
Well, first of all, you would have to align with somebody that's just normal for them.
And see, let's start with that. What a lot of times you may not know that right off the bat.
A lot of those things. Well, we have your story from before about the basketball shorts and
I didn't
all
know.
Of that.
And that was months in.
Yeah.
So it's like, dang, how do you have these conversations with people? And so jokingly, I had discussed this with somebody, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna just start asking dudes straight up, like, hey, this, that. And he said, man, I would get up and walk away from you. He was like, nah, tell the other dudes, man, don't go talk to her. She's crazy. And I was like, because I want to
not waste your time.
I don't want to waste nobody's time. So listen, do you do this? Do you do that? No? Okay, we good. Let's move forward. And he was like, yeah, I would walk away from you and tell the other dudes, don't talk to her. She crazy. And I said, there's probably a lot of y'all that really think that way. And it's just being grown to me, just communicating with somebody. And granted, I'm not going to do it in an egregious manner, but I just want to, hey, so.
Do you wash your hands
Wash your hands? What's your take on washing your hands? I don't do it. All right, check, please. It wouldn't be that crass, but it's.
Yeah, just don't put your hand in my plate.
No, and I'm not eating
don't
from
get
your
anything
hands.
right.
Like, no. Don't touch me. Hey.
But dating is hard at this age. Dating is hard. I don't wish being single at this age on anybody. It's very hard. The dating pool is very small. A lot of people are married, whether they are married.
Happy or not.
Happy or not. They're married at our age. A lot of us that are single, like you said, a lot of people haven't done the work on themselves or are still carrying things from past relationships and things like that. And it's hard meeting people now. I don't know, for me, I think I've become a little bit of a recluse sometimes. I think we have our circle of friends and you just kind of roll in that circle. So you don't go to meet, it's harder to meet people, I think, unless you're doing something virtually and online, or what they say, you got to get out in these streets. But you're in your 50s.
I be in the streets, baby. I'll go to a bar, and it'll be with girlfriends where we're like, let's meet up and have a drink. And I get to drink. Yeah. I'm chatty Cathy, baby. I'm very social.
I know you are.
Hey, is your food good, sir? Yeah. But even with going out, I went to an event last night and the men just sit there and stare.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's different. Men used to approach, men used to send drinks or,
some of them still do.
There's a few, but it's far and few between.
Few and far and between.
It's far and few between. And then I always loved, we danced back then.
That's why I want to go to Ellery's.
Okay, we're going to have to get you over there.
I tried to go last night. We got there too late.
We're going to have to get you over there, girl.
No, listen.
But but it wasn't just one place that you would go.
Yeah.
You could go, people dance. Even when you go to parties and events and stuff now, it's a lot of it's a lot of standing around. It's a lot of
not the grown folks, because even the event last night, they was out there juking.
It's just not the same. I mean, but you have to go. You would have to be in a space where it is people our age.
Yeah.
Our age. But let's talk about this age thing with dating. Have you dated younger?
Yeah.
Younger men?
Yeah.
Because it seems like
younger. The last relationship I was in, he was 4 years younger.
That's still same. To me, he's still in the range.
Oh no,
have you dated
I haven't,
younger?
No, my nerves too bad. I just know. I had a 39 piece and that still had my nerves. I was like, oh, you 39? I just felt like I was just doing something so wrong. I don't know. No.
It's weird.
It is.
It's a little, it feels unnatural sometimes.
Well, and then you're going to have your stuff together.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't trying to be funny because I don't want you to feel like I'm no sugar mama. And I just, no. I don't know. I've always had this thing that you could maybe fuck around with somebody younger than you, but I don't know that I would necessarily marry, because in my mind, I'm always thinking that as a woman, you're going to get older and our bodies are going to change, and this man is still going to be younger, and he's going to want you to try to keep up with him, and you be like, I can't keep up. And then he be like, well, I'm going to go find something younger that can. And I just always, because I just know men. And 9 times out of 10, they just go find something younger. And they may not lead a woman or whatever, but she be like, I don't feel like it tonight, or I'm going through menopausal symptoms, and it's different, and he gonna go get something younger and to mess with. So and that's why I was like, I don't want to with them. No. But
then we also have the opposite with men our age.
Yeah, because
that don't stop them from wanting something younger.
So what you doing with it?
It don't matter what they doing with it. If they want it, they want it.
Y'all, you on the struggle bus, sir, and you want to run out and try to, and you can't. Yeah, it's so.
So, do you still believe in soulmates?
I do with all my heart and with all my soul, and wherever you are, soulmate.
So you haven't met him yet?
I couldn't have, because I'd be with him and be happy and just in love and married. And I wouldn't be looking for a deaf buddy. I'd have my deaf buddy. My deaf buddy would be here. Deaf buddy. He would be here.
So what would you hope people or want people to know about you?
That I'm
the timeless and unfiltered audience.
That I am a very approachable person. I'm not stuck up. I'm not mean, because contrary to people look at me, I've had women just look at me and be like, I don't like her. Like,
well, I get that every day.
Like, why? And then it'll take someone else and be like, have you talked to her? Like, she's like the coolest person. But I hate that people look at me and judge me like that. And I'm like, I'm so not that
Now, why do you think that is?
That they look at me like that?
Why do you think people have that perception of you?
I don't know. I think because I don't walk around smiling all the time. And that's why I said, you expect me to walk around and every day, all day. I'm not going to do that, because at the end of the day, I do have a life. I'm a single parent with 3 kids that stressing me out. You know, they're grown. They live on their own, but they have their things. I'm still mama. I still have to walk them through things mentally, emotionally, financially. And I get drained at times, and then I'm still trying to pursue my aspirations and do things, and and then I'm there for my friends if my friends need anything, and then if I'm in a relationship, I'm trying to take care of my partner or whatever, and so a bitch be tired a lot of times. Sound
like you're being a woman.
Yeah. So I'm not walking around just smiling all the time, but I'm just, and maybe I guess I walk around with a resting bitch face until someone says it, like, hey girl. And then but I have a lot on my mind all the time. My life.
So you think it shows?
It does. The stress shows. And I think that might be why people deem me unapproachable, but I'm not.
How are we going to relieve some stress? How do we relieve stress? What's your stress reliever? Other than that,
it's in a box under my bed.
Well, that still don't stop you from having a resting bitch face. So what?
Oh, yeah, I'd be happy. I'd be happy afterward. I'm like, oh shit.
I can start anew. Start anew. You so crazy.
I'd be happy, but
girl, you so crazy.
What is a stress reliever? It's bad, because it shouldn't be a stress reliever, but shopping. When I feel bad, if I'm doing a bunch of stuff for everybody and I'm overwhelmed, I'm like, let me go look for some sales. And even if it's just one little thing I buy myself, and when it comes in the mail, I'm like, I feel, it's like my dopamine.
Shopping.
Yeah, that's my stress reliever.
Okay. All right, come on, give me 3 words to describe who's Stephenye. Give me 3 words.
A mama, a creative, and a hopeless romantic.
You are a hopeless romantic.
I love love. Find me love. And it's bad because I got people that love the shit out of me.
Well, it has to be mutual. It has to be mutual.
God.
It has to be mutual. And especially at this stage of life, I think you got to find someone that love isn't enough. It can't just be love.
We gotta like each other.
Yeah.
We gotta have stuff in common because I want to ride this life out. It's simple. I just want to travel, eat, and we can gain weight. We ain't judging each other. We gonna start walking. So keep these hearts up. We gonna still be healthy. But
Yes.
I don't want anybody judging me on me aging. And that's why I find a lot of men start judging women after a while. And it's like, no, hold on, man. We all aging and we're all gonna go through stuff. So I just listen. We good though. Or you do too much. I'm like, Lord, I just ain't everybody's cup of tea evidently. So alignment versus attachment.
I like that. Alignment
Is what
versus
I'm looking
attachment.
for, man. Yeah, because I got more summers behind me than I do ahead of me. Jesus. So I just want to ride it out happy and creatively and as a mama.
Girl, you know you're crazy. Well, thank you for sitting down, and hopefully we kind of gave our listeners a little bit of insight as to
This lady
who you
crazy.
are. You know, because when we're all four sitting on the couch, you know, the conversation, you know, we have to make sure the conversation is being spread, and sometimes, you know,
miss out.
Yeah, you miss out on who's that person. So thanks for sitting down and taking a quick little chat with me on this little episode of Timeless and Unfiltered.
Who the F is Stephenye?
All right. Like I say, well, who the F is Stephenye? I'm Leggra.
I'm Stephenye.
And we are holding it down, spilling the tea on midlife.
One laugh at a time.
Bye. Thanks, Stephenye.